This title is narrated with virtual voice, computer-generated narration for audiobooks. Wild and Free by Vanessa Bartal. Prologue. Vaughn Drake adjusted her cheerleading skirt, hoping no one would notice. It was unusual for a cheerleader to want to fade into the background, but that was how she felt. She cheered because it was what popular girls did, and Vaughn longed to be popular. And she was popular in her way. Smart, funny, and friendly, she was well liked by most people. But she longed to be popular in the way all the tiny girls around her were popular, just by merit of being thin, pretty, and blonde. Some people had told Vaughn she was pretty, or rather, that she had a pretty face, not realizing the vast and hurtful distinction between the two phrases. One was a compliment, the other was a well-disguised way of saying she was fat. The worst part was that she couldn't disagree with the assessment. She did have a pretty face, and even though her hair wasn't blonde, it was a pretty shade of chestnut brown, long, thick, and well-behaved. That left only the problem of her body, and it was a huge problem. She had tried every diet in the world, but they hadn't worked. She exercised every day, running and lifting weights like a fiend. But there was nothing she could do about her too tall height or large bones. Behind her back, people called her the Amazon. They did it laughingly, neither not guessing or not caring how much the description hurt Vaughn. The originator of the dreaded nickname jumped down from the stands and began heading her way. Vaughn knew because the crowd started cheering wildly as they did every week when Grant Honeywell decided the cheerleaders needed his special brand of help. She held her breath, praying silently that he would pass by her unnoticed, and, miracle of miracles, he did. He sauntered until he reached the center of the crowd, and then he began to do back handsprings, end over end over end, like a trained gymnast, and not like someone who was 6 feet 8 inches. When he was finished going backwards, he reversed direction and began flipping forward, and the crowd cheered like it was viewing Cirque du Soleil. Vaughn rolled her eyes, refusing to be impressed. She and Grant had shared a love-slash-hate relationship since the first grade when they were the two tallest kids in class and therefore chosen to be team leaders of kickball. Grant had taken the opponent angle seriously, seemingly never losing sight of Vaughn as a rival. He tormented her on an almost daily basis. Giving her the dreaded nickname was only one of his tactics. Public humiliation was another. The problem, Vaughn realized as she watched him jump in the air, touch his toes, and land in the splits, was that she was as attracted to Grant as much as any of the other stupid sheep females she knew. How could she help it? He was beautiful, and when he wasn't torturing her, he was fun. And he was nice, at least to other people. He was at every party, but he didn't drink, somehow remaining cool and fun without imbibing in alcohol. Girls fawned over him, but he never dated. The rumor was that he had a long-distance girlfriend, but no one had ever met her. Vaughn didn't want to be attracted to him, though. She wanted to hate him for the awful things he did to her. But whenever she tried, he would do something charming to make her forget. Most of the time, he simply made her nervous. She was nervous now as he stalked toward her like a panther intent on its prey. She shook her head and backed up, but protesting was futile. What Grant wanted, he got, and today, he wanted her for whatever nefarious purpose. "Come on, Vaughn," he said, grabbing her hand. "No," she said, trying to snatch her hand away. "Pick someone else." "Can't. It has to be you." "Why?" she asked, tugging desperately at her hand. "Because you're the only one big enough to do it." She was pretty sure she hated him then. "What are you doing?" she asked as he positioned her in front of the center of the bleachers. "I'm going to flip you," he said, lining up behind her and linking their elbows. "I don't want to be flipped," she said, panicking now. "I'll flip you." He laughed. "You can't flip me."
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.